Okay, so I just recorded like 5 minutes of conversation and I didn't press record. Anyway, I just want to say I'm super appreciative of everyone's comments on the previous video. I hear everyone's thoughts, agree with a lot of them. I know that I could make these radiators work within the front fenders. I've already put a year into proving what can and cannot work. To be fair, if I did the following, these radiators would work. If I move them forward a little bit, put a puller fan instead of a pusher fan, and actually created ducts that encapsulated the entirety of the face of the radiator, I think that that would work absolutely fine. If it was pulling from the front of the bumper into those fully covered ducts, they would work astounding at speed and during idle, because I'd be pulling air from the front instead of from the box that I've put them in. I know that that is a solution, and I know that that's probably what I should have done at the very beginning, either way, either with the cavity or not. I'm kind of at an inflection point with the project, with the build, with the YouTube channel, where I want to take this to the next level. I think I've kind of been beating around the bush a little bit on Instagram, on myself, on here. But I think it's time that we actually start putting our big boy pants on and going full race car. That being said, we've got a radiator that we've purchased from CSF and RyWire, their joint radiator that's their small tucked. It's 23 inches by 9 inches, or 24 inches by 9 inches, I think. And basically we're going to put that in the front, cut a hole, and go for it. So, again, really thankful for everyone's conversation. Thankful to Michael for reaching out on Instagram from Wrench. A bunch of comments that were just like super yes and a lot of help within the Discord as well. I'm really grateful for Mark at CSF Radiators. He's put so much time and effort into this solution that, one, I feel bad that I didn't get it to work perfectly, but two, I feel grateful that we kind of ran through everything. We did all of the data collection. I sent it all to them, and it's just a testament to how much CSF wanted this project to happen and this product to happen. And I do think that there's still cases where this works. I do think that these would be absolutely fine for just an NA 220 to 280 horsepower engine would be fine. We want a bit more. That's where this year is going. So yeah, without further ado, thanks again to everyone in the Discord. Thanks to those that watch. And we're going to jump straight into unpacking this CSF radiator, CSF RyWire radiator right now. The number one goal here was packaging. I wanted to make sure that everything fit in the front correctly. And ultimately, we had enough airflow to run these dual 8-inch fans, plus have enough cooling capacity for everything else. In the last video, we went over that the side radiators just weren't enough. This, on the other hand, should be... Sorry. Brackets. Is that everything? Some stickers. Alright, let's put this back in here for the time being. And basically, this is what we got. I'm going to keep the blues on for now. And I assume this has the brackets and the dash 16 ends. So this is basically why we're doing it. This is also able to run flipped, I believe, so we can position it correctly. But let's get this out of the plastic and just explain what we're doing a little bit better. But this is some seriously nice. I mean, I shouldn't be shocked. The quality and fit of CSF is bar none, I think. But the ultimate goal is that this is V-mounted in the frunk. So we're in the Discord yesterday, I don't know what day it is. But basically we were talking about the way that I currently have my hoses routed. I wanted to document what I've done and what that could have meant, that basically one radiator is 5 to 10% less efficient than it could be. And that is that the hose from the EWP runs all the way to the top of this radiator on the driver's side. It goes to the bottom of this. This hose then goes to the bottom of this radiator. It should go to the top. And then the bottom hose should go back to the engine. I did not do that. And so from what was said on Discord, it looks like that's a 5 to 10% removal of efficiency because I am pushing water up. Now we're going to change all of this anyway when it comes to the center radiator. So let's just dummy up how I'm thinking of doing this. We are going to V-mount with air being extracted out of and up. So the fans are going to be here pulling air out. Now this can move further back a little bit. It's currently resting on the water bottle. There's a tab behind here in the center where the original water bottle is mounted for the windscreen wipers. So once I cut that out, we're actually going to be able to shift this further back, and we can either tilt less or more to where we want to actually exhaust the air out of the radiator so that we're not creating a high pressure hot zone here, or low pressure, I don't know. So we're going to also simplify the system dramatically. Let's talk about that for a second. So this, I feel like this is just a new thing now where I'm going to sit here and explain things and talk way too much, but hopefully people are listening. But at this point in this project, I'm actually going to simplify the water system. I'm just going to run the center radiator. That's going to change the way that we bleed, bleeding is going to be fine. I think people put so much emphasis on bleeding a coolant system. As long as your fill point is higher than your radiator, you are fine. Like, I don't know why people get so hung up on that. The radiator is lower than the engine at this point. So, regardless, we're going to add a bulkhead to the frunk. So we're going to run small hoses. It's going to be very compact, but we're going to remove the side radiators. I'm not selling them. I'm going to use them for a different project on this car, but that's down the road, not that far, but down the road. So in saying that, this radiator is going to be absolutely fine for this setup. There is videos, one of them being Throttle. They have a 700 wheel horsepower Integra Type R that they just did, or Integra that they just did, running this exact same radiator, and they have zero cooling issues.
All right, that is it here at the dyno. We made 650 wheel horsepower, which is a ton for an all-wheel drive Integra.
We will be fine if that is the case. We're nowhere near 700 wheel horsepower, but I just know that this single radiator is going to do enough for this cooling system. It is thick, it is a big boy, just like your boy, but we're going to be fine. So I'm going to add a bulkhead to the passenger side where I'm sitting, and I'm going to run hoses internally in the frunk that go straight to the radiator, and then we're going to cut a hole in the tub so that we can actually get everything mounted. We're also going to cut out the fuel cell. I am going to redo the mounting of the fuel cell while I'm here, as well as triangulate everything nicely and get everything ready for external ducting through the hood. I want to do that now while I'm doing this kind of fabrication and cutting holes and all that kind of stuff. So the next step is really we're just going to start removing the fuel cell, start removing all the wiring, dump the coolant, and then basically start cutting.